Okay, good morning, everybody. It's me, Keith, at 50th Street Studio with the rock and roll sounds of Gamera in the background as we start our Bad Saturday morning stream. It's 10 a.m. Saturday, August 29. Wow, August is over. And looks like we have no viewers. That's unusual. We usually have several viewers in by this time. We've got a special show for you today. We've got a marathon of Shazam and ISIS shows from 1975 and 76, I believe. There's 6 episodes to show you. It'll be all of the crossover episodes where Shazam and ISIS appeared together on each other's shows. It'll be a real treat. It'll also be really bad. I've been looking at these shows as I've been preparing for this week, and these shows are worse than I remembered. They're actually really quite bad. But we'll get to that in a minute. First of all, 50th Street Studio is a nonprofit. We need your donations to get by from month to month and from week to week. There's a link to the donation site that appeared in the chat here on Twitch for anyone who's here, and it looks like no one's here. Bizarrely, I'll go ahead and introduce our co-host. This is Mike, otherwise known as Mr. Fox Guy. You got your mic on?
What up, y'all?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His mic's on.
I'm ready.
Yeah, he's ready. Yeah. We're going to since I've got 6 episodes of Shazam and ISIS to show, it's gonna run long, so I'm gonna skip our weekly cartoons, which I know is
everybody hold your horses on who Chargeman Ken is going to inadvertently just destroy for a minor inconvenience.
Yeah.
Just put a little the bookmark that anger. We're gonna get back to it.
Yeah. We'll find out what happens to Clutch Cargo and Bullwinkle, and we'll hear from Hercules next week, and we should have our third host, Captain Slinky, back with us next week. Speaking of which, I'm going to be showing tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific on this same channel. I'll be showing Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein as a kind of preparation for the Halloween season that's coming up. It was Captain Slinky who suggested that I show it, and I wanted him to co-host it with me, but unfortunately he was unavailable this weekend. And I already have all the movies for September scheduled, so I didn't want to push it back. Speaking of which, September is going to be Horror Fail Month. It will be scary movies that are not scary. It will be bad horror movies, one of which will be in 3D. So everyone will need to have your red and blue glasses. Where'd mine go? I've got him here somewhere. I always have red and blue glasses.
You have a lot of movies to have to choose from. There were probably many. You had to curate that list. There's a lot of movies that were supposed to be horror movies that just weren't scary.
Well, the idea for it, once I got the idea for it, it was because I already had movies in mind, really. So, and of course, the last Saturday in September, I'll be showing Manos: The Hands of Fate, and Jackie.
The Hands of Fate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jackie Naiman will co-host it with me. She's done that. She's done that with us here at 50th Street a number of times, so she'll be back.
Yeah, I think I saw your video where she was at the retail place.
She was at the store. She did a little Q&A afterwards. Wow. It was great fun. And she's done watch throughs with me on stream since then. It's gotten to the point where I think I've learned just about everything there is possible to learn about Manos.
No, you know what the dog's real name was. You know what day of the week it was shot in.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
What day of the week, not week.
One of the things that I think is really funny when I talk with her is that when she wrote her book, she looked up all the people who were involved with the film who were still alive, and she found a couple of the women who played the master's wives, the women in the white robes. Yeah. And there's one in particular that she says she talks to all the time. I can't remember the woman's name, but she knows the woman's name. and she says she knows she was one of the wives, but for the life of her, she can't figure out which one. I've always thought that
Whoever
was
does
funny.
the cat fight first is
Yeah,
the first wife.
yeah,
Usually, it's the order of
yeah,
strength.
yeah. I think she said she located that woman, and that woman said thank you, but no, I
Yeah.
don't want to talk. So yeah, which is understandable. I don't know if my chat numbers are giving me correct readings here. I'm actually
I'm seeing 5.
really.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, who all, everybody say hello in the chat. Let me see if the chat is even working. Chat might not be working.
Oh, it is. Your donations. There's Carissa.
Yeah.
Hello, Carissa.
Okay. Durham Steve and Carissa's here. Okay.
Hi, Steve.
Um yeah.
Miranda. See?
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Got the
Well,
crew.
yeah, the restream chat is not showing any numbers, so that's throwing me off. Well, I'm glad you're all here. We're going to start immediately with Shazam and ISIS. This was for those of you who don't know, this was a pair of Saturday morning live action shows that started in I think 74 with Shazam, and then it might have been 75. I don't remember because I always thought Ghostbusters was uh, Filmation's first live show, and that was definitely 75. Um, anyway, Shazam. Uh, it was about the adventures of Captain Marvel and Billy Bats and his secret identity. And then the next year, Filmation invented uh, this superhero named the mighty Isis after the ancient Egyptian goddess. 1974, Steve says. Okay, that's what I thought. Shazam was on for a year, and then Isis came on the next year, and they immediately started doing crossover episodes, and those are the ones we're going to see. Those are the ones that are most interesting and most memorable comparatively, because looking back at the shows now, it's not interesting at all. But the thing that's interesting about the show, and I didn't find much, I didn't find anything online really about the production of ISIS. Um, but Filmation are the same people who did bring us the Groovy Ghoulies, which we saw last week,
Mm-hmm.
and
I heard you guys watch that, yeah.
they went on to create Space Academy, and then later He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Um, they made some of the worst television shows ever made, but every once in a while there was a nice little gem in there like Space Academy.
Mm-hmm.
ISIS was notable because it was the first network television show that had a woman superhero as the lead. She was the first. She came before.
Yeah, it was before Wonder Woman, yeah.
Before
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, before Bionic Woman, there was
Mm-hmm.
ISIS. And women of my generation who saw those when we were children, they considered it really important. They loved it. As a matter of fact, I tried
Mm-hmm.
during the last week to find a woman who would host it with me this week. So I thought it would be important to have a woman's perspective on it. I didn't get responses back, but I waited too late. But then I only planned these things out like a week in advance.
Yeah,
So
because you're like in the middle of a week and you're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
planning on one week, and then next
yeah,
week you kind of
yeah,
the brain power gets
yeah,
restored after
yeah, yeah.
Sunday, and
Well, let's go. Let's open the TV here. First of all, I'm going to show you a clip that before I found these episodes online, and this was a long time ago. Gosh, more than 20 years ago that I found actually a VHS tape with some of these episodes on them. But before that, there was only one scene from the ISIS show that I remembered, and I'm going to show you that scene. It turned out it was from episode 2, so it was real early. And the reason I remembered this, I would have been 10 at the time. And the reason I remember this because look at what she's doing here. She's skipping daintily. There's some car thieves in the junkyard. She's skipping daintily over the tops of these cars, and I remember thinking, "This is the mighty Isis." That I was unimpressed. I mean, she's the goddess of the sky. She should have just come barreling down with thunder and lightning, but here she is going ooh ooh ooh.
they couldn't afford a stunt double. They
Yeah,
had to have.
yeah.
They had to have
Now
her
now
do
here's
it,
here's the other thing. When I watched that double feature with you last week. Yeah, Javier is here. He said she should be floating. Yeah, she
Hey,
should be
Javier.
flying. She should be commanding the elements and and bringing down the hammer of justice. And I was I was like, this is the mighty Isis.
But as you get
And
older, you kind of like that dainty kind of
yeah,
feminine,
but then
tiptoe
I
across.
think it's funny. I think it's funny that because I watched the show, I definitely watched the show every week, and yet 20 years later, or 25, 30 years later, that one 10-second clip is the one thing that I remembered from the show.
Yeah,
Isn't that funny how
yeah,
our memories work? Um,
yeah. It's and then you kind of like you hear a piece of music and you
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
inflate it with another one. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But when I co-hosted that double feature with you, and we saw that movie Atom Age Vampire,
Hmm.
and there was that one scene where they were driving in a car, and a voice on the radio said it was talking about the one of this guy's victims had been discovered, and it said it was clearly the work of a gorilla that escaped from the zoo. And both of us were like, "Wait a minute, there's an escaped gorilla? This movie
They
should be
left that
about
plot
the
thread.
movie should be about the escaped gorilla." So all we could
That's
think
so much
about for the
funny.
rest of the evening was, "Wait a minute, what about the escaped gorilla?" Um,
The one that got away.
yeah, and then when I was looking at the descriptions of the episodes for ISIS, one of the descriptions was, and I quote, "an escaped gorilla." And here's
You
what
s-
you
you had me at gorilla. You
yeah
had me at
yeah
gorilla.
here's an example of the quality of show that you're in for with ISIS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, this is like just about the worst gorilla costume I've ever seen. And see, this is how one of the powers of ISIS is that she can control him. See, he doesn't even have black makeup around his eyes.
Come on, Bruce. He's kind of doing the little dainty walk too.
Yeah. So see, one of ISIS's powers is that is that
Is
she
that she's
can,
super attractive? Yeah.
well, she can command animals. So it's like, what's the conflict here? I mean, the way she ended that episode, they were trapped in a cave with the gorilla, and she basically just showed up and then commanded the gorilla to help them escape the cave. The end.
Was it that same cave that
It-
every movie has?
yeah, yeah, it's the same cave.
Yeah.
Um, um, yeah. The Steve is pointing out that they didn't hire 7 immortal elders for Shazam. They animated them, or they hardly animated them. They just did a drawing that appears.
Yeah.
But animation was their specialty, so
Yeah.
why not? Why not cut corners? But let's start right with it. This episode, season 2 of Shazam, season 2, episode 7, called "The Odd Couple."
Don't litter.
Well, Javier, there was a separate ISIS show. We're about to see an episode.
Yep.
We're going to see several episodes. These Filmation shows didn't really have memorable theme music. They just had they had introductions. They had narrated introductions with background music.
Like I remember like Ghostbusters and He-Man.
Yeah.
Sure,
Well,
that's about it. Like the animated stuff.
yeah.
"O my queen," said the royal sorcerer to Hatshepsut, "with this amulet, you and your descendants are endowed by
This
the
is
goddess Isis.
season
With the
1,
powers
episode
of the
12
hills and
of
the
ISIS.
elements. You will soar as the falcon soars.
I don't think they could do a show like this
with the speed
now.
of gazelles, and command the
You know,
elements
way
of
too many
sky
people will be
and
like,
earth.
"Oh, it's
3,000 years
blasphemous."
later,
Yeah.
a young science teacher dug up this lost treasure and found she was heir to the secrets
Teacher.
of ISIS. And so, unknown to even her closest friends, Rick Mason and Cindy Lee, she became a dual person. Andrea Thomas, teacher,
Almighty Isis.
and Isis, dedicated foe of evil, defender of the weak, champion of truth and justice.
That all fits on her name tag.
I think it was this year that they introduced that spinning circle logo.
Oh yeah?
I think so. You notice at the end of that Shazam episode, it didn't have it.
Oh, yeah. Sid.
I think the one
Yep.
great thing they did with this show was casting Joanna Cameron.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Carrie,
Greg, dear boy.
what are you dressed up for this
I
time?
am the ghost of the past and the spirit of the now.
Could be. You do look a little spooky. Hey, listen, speaking of ghosts, I thought you were going to become one at the Destruction Derby last Saturday. I never figured you'd get out in one piece.
Construction
Don't be silly.
derby?
With all this blubber I carry around, they couldn't hurt me.
I don't know why I bothered.
Blubber?
you.
Well, yeah, what?
Lovely.
What the
What are
hell?
you going to do next?
Oh, something worthy of my talents.
Carrie,
Well, I guess
you
this
are
is-
a nut. But you're a
In
million
Hollywood,
laughs.
this is
I'll catch
considered
you later.
fat, I
Later.
guess.
Yeah, Should be like 130,
Nice to know
maybe?
somebody's happy.
This episode is called
Now,
Funny
Benjamin
Gal, by
Franklin
the way.
had done this experiment instead of playing with that silly old kite. He sure would have looked funny.
Oh, it's my hair.
Now here's it. Now here's it. This is your Pied Piper speaking. All you cats who want to go to Hamlin, follow me. Just follow your little old Pied Piper to the land of hamburgers, ice cream, and all that good stuff.
That girl.
Run, do not walk.
That
Oh,
girl.
Thomas? No.
Yeah.
Bus to Hamlin. Leaving.
Uh-oh.
Something's wrong. Carrie's in
Proper car maintenance.
I don't think this needs ISIS. I think she would have already hit a pole by this point.
Yeah, it's just a crash.
Yeah, Shenlong is saying that he's never seen either of these shows. And Javier says that when he was a kid,
Oh,
these...
zipper wings which blow on high, lift me now so I can fly.
Yeah, in the 1980s, these shows just weren't rerun.
Oh, let's see you laugh your way out of this one, fat kid.
What is she? I guess when doing the cameras in shot with you, yeah, you do feel kind of like inadequate.
Yeah.
Turn back to me.
That's actually a green screen. Oh,
Oh,
it's a special effect. Okay. So she controls machines as well?
all right. Well, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fix the dents in my car.
The throttle's stuck and then the steering and the brakes went out.
Are you all right?
Oh, sure. What can happen to the queen of the uglies?
That's a terrible thing to say.
Damn.
Stop putting yourself down that way.
Yeah.
It's gotta be realistic.
You're not being realistic. You're just being foolish.
She reminds me
You
of
can't expect other people to like
Frances
you unless you
McDormand.
like yourself first.
Yeah.
Unless you know
Yeah,
where I can
Fargo?
get a body transplant.
Yeah, I can see that.
What's the like?
Your
Body
mind,
transplant.
Your sense of humor. You
Well, I
always
hope-
keep the kids
I can only
laughing.
hope that this
As soon
spoke
as
to
it stops,
somebody.
the guys go off with the chicks. You know,
Yeah.
the ones that look great in bikinis. Nobody cares if they got a mind.
Carrie, you are an intelligent girl. Believe me.
I'd rather not be so
I
intelligent.
mean, the goddess of the sky would be saying, "Are we gonna have this conversation?
Yeah. Right now,
I've got things to do."
gotta go and take care of class.
I brought some of
Grading.
my special homemade fried chicken I had left over from last night, and some potato salad.
Sounds great.
I have a couple of deviled egg sandwiches and a cucumber salad.
Okay, I'm gonna come right out and say it that I like her as her regular person.
Well, you know what
Isis
I
just a
bring?
little too much,
You guys invited me.
but
Invited you.
she's a
Well, we just
professor.
said, why don't you have lunch with us?
She's kind.
Well, if that's not an
This guy should be
invitation,
hanging all over
what
her,
is?
but no, because it's a kid show.
Yeah.
All right. You can have some of my chicken.
Okay, the girls are looking at each other because they know he's gay.
I
That's.
suppose you can have one of my
Yeah.
deviled egg sandwiches.
I do
You
remember
are
reading
two
years ago an
wonderful
interview
human
with
beings.
him
That's what you are.
where
You know something,
the
Mr.
interviewer
Mason?
was asking
I
him
think you ought to
what
get
it was like to
married.
be the first
I'm going to.
dude in
You are?
distress.
When?
'Cause he was
As soon as I find
the
someone
lowest
who
lane
looks
for
like
ISIS.
Yeah.
and cooks like you.
I don't remember what he said. I remember I remember him just saying he thought it was great.
If that's your attitude towards women, you're going to end up a very old and hungry bachelor.
Not to change the subject or anything, but what are we going to do about Carrie Anson?
Well,
What?
why don't we just leave her alone? It looks like she's having a good time with Greg.
She's a problem?
She's a very unhappy girl, Rick.
Yeah, she looks really unhappy.
Carrie thinks
Yeah.
of herself as a big fat zero. And I'm not trying to be funny.
That's
Maybe
why
you
she
should
keeps
stop
putting
reinforcing
herself
it
down.
behind
It's
her
her
back.
way of saying, hey, look at me, I'm a person.
Well, what do you want to do about it?
Listen, see if this makes any sense. The elections for student body president are coming up, right?
Right.
Makes no sense.
What would happen if,
Yeah.
quote, spontaneous, unquote, campaign started to get Carrie elected?
Great idea, Cindy. That should convince her
Don't
that
even
people
start
really
with
like
messing
her
with
and
the
respect her
election
for
now.
being
Yeah.
just herself.
Don't even talk about
Greg's
that.
in one of my classes. How about if I slyly insert the idea into his head about starting the campaign?
Don't say insert.
Fantastic.
Don't.
Yeah.
That kind of
Okay,
thinking is
the
worth
teachers
2
messing with
pieces
the
of
student
chicken
council
any day.
elections, bad
And the
idea.
deviled egg sandwich.
And they say words like insert and penetrate.
Yeah.
Good
No.
idea, Mr. Mason. I wish I'd thought of it. Oh, my blessings on you, my boy. You know, maybe it's the wrong word to use, but I've always been impressed with Carrie. Well, Carrie's a very impressive gal. She does hide her IQ, though. Yeah, but... Well,
You're in the
sometimes I'm
shadows,
almost a little
guys.
afraid to talk to
Yeah.
her. How come?
Oh, how
Well, you get too
poetic.
serious with her and she starts
Messing
to
with the
turn around.
elections
It's like she
and the
doesn't want you to get too
shadows.
close to her. You know, I know what you mean. You know, and the way she talks about herself?
His bad tide
Carrie
management.
Anson, the female Moby Dick, Miss 20th Century Ugly. Boy, you know, it's going to be tough to change that image into a contender for student body president. Do you think you can do it, Greg?
The hell?
Sure, Mr. Mason. Hey,
Why
I
would
know
they
what our
say
campaign
that
slogan is gonna
ever?
be. Vote for Carrie Anson for student body president. Anything for a laugh.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, he's dead. He's so dead.
What'd you expect, dummy? That anybody would really think you were good enough to be student body president?
See,
There
this
goes
is
the school.
the reason I
Dropped
lost
in
interest. The reason I lost interest in the Shazam and ISIS shows was because these weren't superhero
And if
stories.
I am elected to
They were
Yeah.
I
they were
promise
dramas.
Mary
They were
has
school
with
dramas.
Around. This is an important speech.
Look,
And
nobody's
I
gonna
really
take
do
my
think
running
that
for office
the networks
seriously, including you.
really
Of course I take it
hampered
seriously.
what they could do.
Okay.
They
Then will you see
they
my
were
new
so
idea?
the networks were
Turn
so
your head,
focused on
Doris,
there being
don't peek
no
until I've blown it up.
no fighting, no danger.
Yeah, everything was like an ABC after school special.
You're right.
Sure.
Okay, wait. All right, now, look, turn around, look. Ta-da!
Vote for the candidate who looks like this.
Neat, huh?
What?
Carrie, when are you going to stop doing this?
Doing what?
Putting yourself down.
Oh, come on, Greg, it's just a joke.
I don't think comparing yourself to a balloon is funny.
Yeah, they're
You don't
hiding
like
the
that?
fact that she's not fed by all the
How's
loose
this for an
clothing.
idea?
Yeah.
I challenge my opponents to an eat-a-thon.
A what?
An eat-a-thon. We line up 500
Like they're gonna
teachers
act
on a
like
school
Edith
track, and the
Bunker?
first
What?
one to
I was
eat his
gonna
way to
say
the
that.
finish line wins. Carrie, you're impossible. And if you don't like that, I've got an even better idea. You see, what we do is...
Why don't you kiss her instead of talking her to death?
Rick, this is the third time you've invited us to go boating, and this is the third time we haven't even left the dock.
To go boating.
We're glued to a seat.
Noting.
You don't understand. Half the fun of boating is the preparation.
Fun for who?
She was born in Colorado. Where did that
Okay,
accent come
fun
from?
for whom?
Look,
And
all
she
of
was
this
born on
preparation is
September
very
20th.
necessary, and I promise both of you that the next time we come out here, I'll take you out into...
Rick, there's not going to be a next time.
Your
Oh,
slaves have just emancipated
oh,
themselves.
Rick, there's not going
I
to be
know
a
what
next time.
both of you need. A nice cold drink.
It's gonna take more than a cold drink to straighten out my sore back.
Cindy, you and I are two fairly intelligent young women. How did we let him con us into this
Fairly?
3 times
No,
in
I'm
a
gonna
row?
go with super.
Just lucky, I guess.
There, now you relax and enjoy that. And I don't want either one of you to dare do one lick of work for at least 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Oh, he's going
He's been out in
overboard.
the sun too long.
How's,
Yeah, make him the anchor and throw out him.
Not too good, I'm afraid.
She seems to have this picture of herself as a washout. She
I
just can't
I
get
tried
rid
to
of it.
watch that movie of
Greg's working
yours.
really hard, I know that for
That
sure.
throw out the
I
anchor
hope it
movie.
can help her break
I-
through
I-
that
I
barrier
couldn't do
she's
it.
built up.
Amen to that.
I did see that one
Well,
moment where
time's up.
somebody
Let's
fell
get
in the
back
water
to work.
fully
Hippity
clothed,
hop.
like I was predicting.
Yeah.
But it didn't happen the way I thought it would.
Hey,
There was a character who kept
Where you going?
intentionally going into the water
back
because he
here.
was hiding from the police.
Right.
That's the only thing good about that movie. The only thing that was generally funny
Yeah.
about it.
Hey, Carrie, hold it.
Hi, manager. How's the campaign going?
Well, according
Yeah,
to my
she's
latest
not
unofficial
not
poll,
fat.
we're going to lose. And for
No.
only one reason.
Nobody's gonna
And
vote
she's not a
for
high
me.
school
Harry, you
kid
could have
either.
this election locked
No.
up if you wanted to.
Well, come on,
At the
Greg.
time of making this, she
I know
was
you
30.
never really believed I'd
Yeah.
stand a chance.
PCP
You do.
came in. Hi,
How do you
PCP.
know that?
Hey,
And she says
Well,
I wore a
I
patchwork
just
jumper
know,
like that
that's
when I
all.
was
What
7.
do you
I,
think of
I
the
actually I was looking at that. I was noticing that. I
What
liked it.
else? Like me.
It's
Yeah.
very very
Thanks a lot
70s.
for wasting my time.
Whoa.
and now a commercial message. Jimmy.
Javier says I dig looking at the clothes. The clothes are very 70s chic.
Yep. Though, hers.
Stop
are a
screeching.
little bit-
Miss
I
Thomas?
know.
Carrie, you got a minute? Sure, come on in. What can I do for you?
Well, do you think you could talk Mr. Mason into lending me his boat?
What?
It would be easier
She wants the
talking him
boat?
into lending you his right arm.
I know, but I got a great idea for a publicity stunt.
And Joanna Cameron was like
You
24
know
when she
Star
made
Trek
this.
is his pride and joy.
Really?
And I'm
Yeah.
afraid he already knows all about those publicity stunts of yours.
Miss Thomas, it's awful important. I just
She
gotta
definitely
have
doesn't
that
look
boat.
24.
Will you ask him?
No,
Okay.
it's
We're
it's
playing
the
tennis
hairdo
later,
and
I'll
the
ask you,
glasses.
but I can't
The
promise
big
anything, so
glasses.
Don't count on it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thanks anyway.
She definitely carries herself
See you
more
later.
mature than
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the few things I did find on YouTube with her in it was she was on the Merv Griffin show, and he introduced her.
No tennis?
He introduced her as holding the Guinness Book of World Records
No,
record
that's all right. I just got here myself.
for the
There's a
most
storm coming in. I
television
wanted to make sure the
commercials.
boat was secure.
Speaking of your boat,
So
Do you know who I
she had
almost
apparently
ran into?
done
Well,
a
actually, it was
couple of
vice
hundred
versa.
network television commercials
Carrie Anson, she was coming into the
during
marina
the years
just as I
leading up
was
to
leaving.
this, which I certainly
Rick,
didn't remember.
Carrie asked me if I would ask you if you would lend her your boat.
You're kidding.
When I said I didn't think you would, she seemed very
Yeah, it's amazing
upset.
when you see
You're
famous
absolutely
people
right. I
that
wouldn't
got their
think-
start doing commercials.
You don't
Yeah.
think
PCP, I do think that was a giant flower on the front of her shirt. But I
Yeah.
think that was.
Almighty ISIS.
Now wait a minute. Why did she feel the need to turn into ISIS? She's afraid Carrie's. Is she afraid Carrie's gonna steal the boat? Is it?
No one's really in danger.
Now so I can fly.
God, that's a great effect though. Oh, so she did take the boat.
All of a sudden, it's like Mitchell. All of a sudden,
Yeah.
Mayday! Mayday! This is Carrie Anson aboard the Star Tracker 2. Mayday!
The Star Tracker
Mayday!
2.
Star Tracker, this is the Coast Guard. What is your
oh, there he is.
Yep, it's Lou
I say
Scheimer.
again, Star Tracker, we read your mayday. Give us your position.
That doesn't make every newscast in town. I don't deserve.
Oh,
to be
this is her
vice
publicity
president.
stunt.
Now, just
Yep.
one more thing.
Before social media, you just stole a boat.
Yeah.
Okay, so vandalism,
I owe you a new
grand
microphone.
theft.
Yeah.
Star Tracker, this is the Coast.
Show her the way to go home.
This is like looking for a needle in a haystack.
No, we say looking for a fish in the ocean. Mixing metaphors.
Storm moving in. We'll have to find Carrie before it hits.
She could see that in the jewel on her head.
It's time to head back now.
Okay, now
Did you make
she's
that?
gonna have trouble with the boat. Yeah, here we go.
Whoa! What a crappy boat.
Yeah.
She pressed the self-destruct
Uh,
button. Oh.
Speaking of
No.
self-destruct buttons, we're so used to seeing science fiction shows where every ship has a self-destruct code. Is there any vehicle ever made by anybody in the world that has a self-destruct?
No, I think they're built into people now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone just does it on their own.
So wait, the boat is sinking?
You're really late.
She just
Where's Andrea?
messed everything up.
She was with
Yeah.
you.
Oh, wouldn't you know it? Every time there's an emergency, she disappears.
Having engine trouble and sinking are two different
Come
things.
on, I'll tell you on the way to the marina.
Yep. But I think that's like kids think if there's a problem
right.
with this, it's
Where
gonna
can she be?
like what's the worst thing that could happen?
I
The
don't
boat's
find her
gonna sink.
soon. There she is.
Wow, you can see her from this far away because she's so fat. That's a nice landing.
PCP says, okay, this gal is definitely me.
This time, I'm in a lot of trouble. More than you know, Carrie. There's a storm coming in, and I can't help you here and stop the storm. I'm gonna need a little help on this one.
She can stop the storm?
Tut, hear me.
So that answers Creedence Clearwater Revival song.
You're gonna need to explain that.
Now to find Captain
Wasn't there
Marvel.
something about like stopping the rain?
Stopping
or
the rain,
something?
right.
Yeah.
There
Oh
he is.
no, not him.
Oh.
again.
Tut,
Wrong channel.
bring Captain Marvel. I need him. Fly due west.
Wait, the bird's name is Tut?
Yeah,
Like Tutankhamun?
right.
Hang in there, Carrie. Help's on the way.
Or
Thank you,
Tutwiler.
Isis. Now to see about holding off that storm. Oh, zephyr winds which blow on high, lift me now so I can fly.
And you could blast the boat to pieces with a...
Oops. If I were a superhero, I'd want to use my powers and just have them based upon, you know, silly limericks.
Okay, here's Captain Marvel picking up a tree.
Houseworkers needed here.
Let's see, I'll just take this here and just put a squirrel on it. We'll glue a plastic squirrel on it.
Yeah.
Sell it. There we go. Yeah, it's
Hang
like
it.
a driftwood.
Yeah, hang a macrame owl up here.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Tut, what is it? Nice to send you.
My name's Roger.
Does she need me?
Worms.
Which way is she?
Need worms.
Yeah, worms.
West of here.
Oh, finally, Ice is called.
She has returned my phone call.
Yeah. PCP is asking who played Captain Marvel. Who was the guy playing Captain Marvel in this season?
John Davey.
John Davey. I don't recognize the name. He's kind of a mess. I was commenting last time.
Hold that storm back
That he
until
is.
Captain Marvel arrives to help Carrie. Oh, mighty storm that rolls so free. Now roll back. Calm the sea.
He looks like he's been sleeping on the couch in his van.
Yep.
And
The storm seems to be letting up.
You know, you ever wonder all these superheroes that go flying never have bugs splatted all over their face?
yeah,
You know? They're not like, oh, God.
yeah.
Isis can't hold back
That
the storm
season,
and still bring
yeah.
the boat in at the
Yeah.
same time.
Thank you for the $10, Javier.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Captain Marvel!
Isis sent for me. Now let's see about getting you out of here.
Just happened to be going by and happened to see your boat.
Yeah. So, Cap, he can't stop the storm, but he can tow a boat.
It's going to cost some money to dry clean that.
Yeah. So she's up there literally holding off the storm and looking down approvingly. Oh, here he is doing the surfboard trick.
Nice.
Really bad photography.
Yeah. How is he doing that? It's so heavy.
I don't know how to thank you, Captain Marvel.
I
Yeah,
do.
she's not
Just
fat.
Don't get
No.
into a situation where I'll have to do this again.
And you, Isis.
Same goes for me. Just don't do it again.
Don't do it again.
Oh, don't worry. I've learned my lesson. 2 lessons. If people like you and Captain Marvel and Greg can go through what you did just for me, well, maybe I'm not as worthless as I thought.
Good girl, Carrie. What's the second lesson?
No more crazy stunts like this, ever.
I think
But
you'll have
get
some
rich quick
explaining to do
schemes,
to the
sure,
Coast
that's
Guard.
okay.
Yeah.
False distress signal is a very serious matter.
I know. It was a dumb thing to do.
Well, anyway, you're safe and the boat's safe. And let me tell you, I'm glad about that because I put a lot of work into that boat.
You
Rick, you may want to look at the
put
boat.
into it. Well, what about me and Andrea?
Speaking of Andrea, she missed all the excitement again. You know, Isis, I'm beginning
Well,
to think
Captain
that
Marvel
Andrea's
and
afraid of
Isis
you.
are gonna
I
are
mean,
gonna
you
get
pretty
lost
rough
real quick. So
competition for a
Rick is the
woman.
one who's gonna have to
Really?
deal with the Coast Guard.
What would you think of Captain Marvel as competition for a man?
What?
Huh?
Wait, what did she say?
Come up. Look at those
Cindy and
shorts.
Carrie,
They're,
why don't I give you a ride
Captain
home?
Marvel's kind of interested now.
Wait, what did she say? I missed. She put Rick in his place somehow. But
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, kids all fail at college because she's too busy being a superhero.
Yeah. Steve is asking why Captain Marvel couldn't fly. He couldn't pull the boat while flying. He had to get wet.
Maybe the suit had to be clean. It was dirty.
Javier saying Jackson Leonard Bostwick Jr. was Captain Marvel. That might have been season 1. There were 2 different guys who played Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Which we were pointing out earlier. I was telling Mike that until I put this collection together, I never noticed that there were 2 different guys playing Captain Marvel. It's just pagan god worship.
So this whole Jesus thing, nah, it's all about Shazam and the elders. Damn it!
In today's story, Laura and Kate learn that doing something wrong, even when you think it's for a good reason, doesn't make it right. A wrong deed is usually only the beginning. You find yourself trying to cover it up, and then the
Now, kids, you listen to Shazam when he tells you this stuff. Don't listen to your parents.
Most of the time, we can pretty well tell right from wrong, so don't try to fool yourself. Stick to the right way. It's the best way. See you next week.
He said,
Bigfoot!
usually we can tell right from wrong, he says. And then this generation grew up with Fox News.
Yep. Of course, I grew up with the PSAs about G.I. Joe and knowing half the battle. G.I. Joe!
But this whole trend of having a kids show that ended with the hero lecturing us about what we learned started with this stuff.
Yeah. Wow. It's a kid's speed when you're doing it,
Or you're cutting out there. When the music gets loud, your voice cuts out. What were you saying?
Oh, that's okay. I just like telling the kids they have to speed.
Yeah. So she took film of Billy Batson turning into Captain Marvel.
Yep.
And she filmed Andrea turning into ISIS, and they just let her walk away with that film. See the whole problem.
Don't think Billy has a problem. Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Chance to win a contest, maybe cheat on an exam, or make some easy money in some dishonest way. But most of us know better than to fall for things like that. In today's story, Jim found out what Zeus meant when he said, "Those who act dishonestly to win walk in disgrace, perhaps even in danger." So play it safe and play it
disgrace
smart.
and danger.
Don't be fooled by temptation. The honest way is the best way.
Gee, thanks, Davey.
That's really interesting. In the lesson, he actually reminded us of the words of Zeus.
Yep. Forget, like, the whole Davey thing had 2 layers because the actor's name is John Davey, and the
oh, I see.
Goliath reference there.
Okay.
They layered it.
How clever. How clever you are.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Now I hear the sarcasm in that one.
Yeah. No, but I didn't get it. It went over my head.
When I have to explain a joke, it's just not funny anymore.
Yeah. I think.
I wonder where the Winnebago was. Like now. Junkyard.
It's been in a junkyard for 30 years.
Oh yeah. At least.
Okay, the next couple of episodes will be the second season of ISIS.
You and your descendants are endowed by the goddess
And
Isis,
she has a different
with the
group
powers
of
the animals and the elements.
ethnically mixed
You
buddies.
Will soar as the falcon soars.
Well, they graduated.
Run with the speed of
Yeah.
gazelles, and command the elements of sky.
Well, they
and earth.
failed out, probably flunked out because she was never there.
A young
And at the
science
point,
teacher
listen carefully, at the
dug up
point
this
at which
lost treasure and found she was heir to
Lou Scheimer, the narrator here,
secrets
mentions
of Isis.
her friends,
And so,
you can hear him
unknown to
cut
even
in
her
a different
closest friends,
track.
Oh yeah.
and Rennie Carroll, she became a dual person.
Hear that?
Andrea
It changed.
Thomas,
Yeah.
teacher,
And burning her.
Almighty Isis.
and
Didn't record
Isis,
the whole thing. Just
dedicated foe
That
Yeah.
one part.
Defender
Yeah.
of the week, champion of truth and justice.
I think if we asked ancient Egyptians about Defender of the Week and Champion of Truth and Justice, they would be like, what are you talking about?
Who do you think built the pyramids?
It's Arthur H. Nadell again. We saw him in the Space Academy.
Oh, he did.
marathon.
He did everything.
Yeah.
Wrote it or directed it. Probably is a security guard. It's a shy cameraman. Get in there. Oh, there you go.
Wait a minute. What's
What are you doing
What's
there?
our buddy Rick up to here?
Oh. Android? Shapeshifter?
Evil
Sleeve
twin.
stack?
Sleeve stack.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Whoops.
Evidence.
Oh. I gotta just get the recycling here.
Criminals always drop evidence.
I like how the super secret stuff has handles built in, you know, just to make it
Yeah.
easier to carry. You know?
Yeah. Operation
He dropped
Weathermaker.
his- This is better than Operation Widowmaker, you know. Just...
Yeah. When I was a kid, my dad told me about these guys.
Forgot my ID card, but I guess you know me. I guess I do, Mr. Mason. See you tomorrow.
And my dad told me the story about these college students in New York who got into this a thing car. That's what it looks like, Steve. These college students who got interested in this idea of what would it take to commit the perfect crime, and he's wearing a mask.
Does he know he has a face?
His
He's
face.
gotta know that he has that face.
His real face looks like a mask.
Start the music, dim the lights, make sure everything's
Oh.
just right. Cause we're going to that magic wonderland. Now you see it, now you don't. So people believe.
Oh, it's
and
Air
so just
Supply?
go.
No.
'Cause there's magic.
Steve recognizes that guy from every crime show in the 70s. But anyway, my dad told me about these guys, these college guys that decided they were going to commit the perfect crime. They planned out a murder. They planned out every contingency, and they actually committed a murder just to see if they could do it. And
Was that what Rope was based on? Was that what Rope, you know, the
I don't-
Hitchcock film was based on?
I don't know that movie. But anyway, they did it. They committed the crime. But one of them dropped his glasses, and they had his name monogrammed on them.
Oh,
Yeah. I've never forgotten that story.
wow.
You know there's magic everywhere. You gotta believe in the power that it brings.
This sounds like a song they would have written just for satirical reasons for South Park.
Yeah.
You know there's magic in the air.
Steve, it's Koothrappali and Dawn.
Magic everywhere. You gotta believe in the power that it brings. You gotta believe.
I
So
mean,
what's this one called?
Do most anything.
This is called Now You See It.
And now, ladies and
Ellipses.
gentlemen, good
yes,
night.
it is. Shenlong says, "What was that?"
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, putting
How did you do that? Well, CJ, a magician never reveals his secrets.
together a group of kids who are from very ethnic backgrounds in the show is one thing, but putting this one kid in a turban,
Yes, a top secret weather-making device.
I think this is
Operation
going
Weathermaker.
way too far.
Now, look, Mr. Mason,
Wow,
you have
there's
the
some
right to
there's some
remain silent.
pretty decently known actors in this episode.
Really?
Craig Wasson is in this.
Identified by a
Okay.
guard down at the research center in his car.
Is he one of
was
these guys?
in-
Car was stolen early this
No,
morning.
his character will show up
Parked
later.
outside
He's
right
got the
now.
last But he was in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Body Double.
Okay.
He was in Ghost Story.
Ghost Story. Okay.
That was one of those old guys.
Yeah, Fred Astaire.
A girl dying. Yeah. He played the guy who he had a twin who was killed by the ghost.
Right.
And then he came back.
He's still wearing his turban.
Dude, I think it's a dude with a hat.
Mr. Mason's been arrested. What?
He was working on a secret government project.
Okay.
A machine that can make any kind of weather.
And now it's missing. And I think Mr. Mason ripped it
Okay, yeah. You know, I've seen this episode before, and I didn't put it together that that's who he was. He was all over TV.
He's so young. Yeah. Jerry Douglas is also in this too. He's known for he was in JFK. He was in a couple episodes of Quincy. He was on Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
Wow, you got a magician there. I can come up with something.
Wasn't White Shadow on around this time?
You stay with Miss Thomas, see what you can find out.
Maybe. I never watched White Shadow.
Thanks, Feather.
White Shadow is about a basketball coach, right?
Yeah.
Listen, Mr. Mason was always there when I needed him. Mind if I come along? All right.
See, the ISIS show at this point wasn't about ISIS anymore. It was about these kids. And I hated it.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of the... Oh, he's from Upper Wisconsin cop. I think that's what kind of happened to Greatest American Hero, too. Became less about the super suit and more about the kids in the classroom.
Yeah.
Maybe you boys better run along.
I tuned out.
It's okay, so the magic guy was throwing his voice.
Sure, it's a lucky thing that woman happened to come along, huh?
It certainly was.
That wasn't that good.
No.
Oh, she can whistle, too? Damn.
Oh, that's terrific. I'm going by the research center now to pick up his books.
The research center?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you ought to go now. I mean, maybe you could go later, huh?
Look at her face. She's like, "What's up? What's up with you?"
I'll see you later. I have a feeling Rennie's up to something.
You think?
I think ISIS better go to
I have breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah. Yeah. This is our second to last episode. We have one more episode of ISIS after this.
Come on.
That kid picked that lock? I always thought that he was dressed like Joe Walsh. See, he looks like Joe Walsh.
Yeah. Well, life's been good so far.
Yeah.
Hey.
So I just read something kind of interesting about Joanna Cameron.
What?
She hated working with that Raven. She did not like working with Tom.
Really?
Yeah, she hated it. She asked the producers several times if they could write it out of the script. Patchouli oil? Ugh.
Yeah, patchouli
leave
oil.
that there.
What was it doing? Did you say what it was doing?
Maybe she just didn't like it. It was just too smart for its own good, you know? And she's almost 70. She according to IMDb, the last thing as of May of 2003, she was working in hotel marketing in Hawaii. She did pretty good for herself then.
Yeah. I do remember reading that after she left acting not long after this in like 1980. And she got into excuse me. Oh, of course, the rattlesnake.
Move. I hate orange.
She got into the private healthcare business, private nursing.
Yeah.
And I always like, can you imagine being like a 70-year-old guy who signs up for a private nurse and the mighty ISIS shows up?
That's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't see her
just
change.
Standing there.
Yeah, she's just standing.
No wonder Rennie didn't want me to come here. Time, ruler of days, stop all motion and make it stay.
Wait a minute. She stopped time? Wait a minute.
That's super powerful, man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, look at the hair.
Just walking through demurely.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Flying man.
Hey.
Oh, Snaky. Get rid of you, Snaky.
Just needs to move the snake like 2 feet.
Yep. Protect the Snaky.
That guy is holding that pose really well.
Get you over here, Snaky. I know you're probably having a nap, but let's get you back over.
I would think it would be easier when she says she's stopping time. I think it would be easier for her to move at light speed than it would for her to stop time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't stop that kid from.
Yeah, broken hip.
Yeah.
Stronger than Captain Marvel there.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel
pick somebody up. He's like, oh, rock is heavy. Oh, this piece of railroad tie is heavy.
Yeah.
Mr. Mason.
How'd you know that?
I know a lot more than that, including that you'd be more help if you obeyed the laws instead of breaking them.
Yeah, get out of here,
Oh
kids.
boy, here we go. Obey.
Okay, the look of shame from the kids.
Yep.
I think they understand.
All right, Isis.
Give them all detention.
Well,
All right, Isis.
so much for a big investigation.
Are those cops or security guards?
Lucky we didn't wind up in the
They probably were cops.
Well, like I said
Oh,
before,
what are you sitting like that for?
the spirit.
What?
Hey, that's it. That bottle I found in the
He's
lab.
working really hard to be funny,
Spirit gum.
and it's
Yeah.
not working.
Well, you know.
No.
Spirit
the
gum.
Stuff that you use for gluing on the sky.
That's what I was gonna make a joke that's what it is.
Pony
But
mustache.
what?
Right on.
Oh, raunchy. Oh, so that's what he had. It was a fake mustache.
Hmm.
Yeah, she didn't like working with that guy.
Did you want to see me, Miss Thomas?
Yes, Rennie. Mr.
He
Mason
was
is
probably
going to be
muttering
released on
disgusting
bail.
words whenever
I'm going to
people
pick him
weren't
up this
around.
afternoon.
Wow, that's terrific.
Of course, he's not
Or
our
trying to steal her
recruit. He's our
amulet.
witness.
Well, at least he's out.
Now, what are you up to?
To, take some pictures.
Well, you're welcome to use the lab here to
So
do
no
that.
one notices that she has the
No,
same
thanks.
power
Mention it
pose
later,
as
but-
Isis.
For me to use the lab at the park. See ya.
All right. Bye-bye.
No,
Did
it's
you
okay.
did you ever see that that SNL thing that Conan O'Brien did? He was they did a superhero show called Moleculo. And
I think so. Yeah.
He played
yeah.
that super tall red-haired reporter that would turn into Moleculo, and every time Moleculo would show up, people would say, "Hey, you're Moleculo," and so he would always have to leave town, and then he would and then it showed him in Mexico with all these guys with bandoliers and the big hats. What are the big Mexican hats called?
Sombreros.
Yeah. So the reporter shows up. Moleculo saves the day, and then the reporter shows up talking Spanish at them. And then the sheriff with the big sombrero, he just looks at he has his mustache and everything. He just looks at the camera, deadpan for a few seconds, and then he says, "Tu es Moleculo."
Hey, that's Mr. Mason.
Not quite.
Wait a minute.
Wow, we've got to show this to the police.
Wasn't this the guy in Laser Blast? The
No,
guy.
but it does look like a guy though. It looks kind of like John. Like there's a character actor. Was it John Lynch? Richard Lynch.
That's good.
Richard Lynch.
Richard
okay.
Lynch.
Excuse me, Mr. Mason.
Yeah.
Yes? We're federal agents. Your friend and you will have to come with us. This is just routine.
Not again.
Oh, he's-
No, wait a minute.
Oh, he's
Yes,
pretending to be a federal
sure
agent.
is a federal agent. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the magic guy has a snazzy van. He also looks like
He's the one in the picture.
he also looks like
Let's follow.
that German actor director, the Wrath of Aguirre.
Oh, you got me at the wrong time. At least they're observing, proper speed limits in the national park.
Aguirre, the Wrath of God. That's what I'm thinking of.
Okay.
I can't think of the guy's name. I can't think of any of his other movies too. I can never.
Kinski.
Klaus Kinski, yeah.
Yep.
He looks kind of like Klaus
So
Kinski.
you're the ones who stole it.
What do you want of us?
We'd like a little demonstration of this thing, just to make sure that it works. Now, what do I do to cause
So
a
this
storm
this
here?
little thing controls the weather? Just don't touch it. It's not even plugged in.
No.
What?
So it just makes a ratio whenever you need one.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Unplug that control box. That's some kind of a power lock. Andrea, get out of here.
He said unplug the control box. It is
Let's
unplugged.
get out of here.
Well, luckily ISIS is right here.
That's what happens when you buy stuff from Radio Shack.
Come on, let's go after those guys.
Are there any Radio Shacks still open?
Almighty ISIS.
Oh, look at that look she was giving us. Wow.
Yeah, that was. You know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
next.
that was.
Where do her glasses go again? Do I want to know? Do I want to find them? Yes. Do I know where they go? No. Because she's like, I can't
I'm
see.
going to need a little help on this
Oh,
one.
her hair looks a little more full there.
Yeah.
Oh, Tut, hear me. Now take two.
Yeah, right here. You didn't open the window. Crash.
Find Captain Marvel.
And then they cut
into
to
the
a
old river
vulture
road.
or something.
I think I'd better set Rick free first.
Set Rick free, why don't you?
Oh, she
babe?
did. She had the bewitched sound.
Nice. Did she wiggle her nose too?
Yeah.
Cutest thing on television ever.
Captain Marvel was picking up a rock.
Just happened to be picking up a rock.
He interrupted
Then there's trouble. I'm on my way.
Captain Marvel
What was
with his daily rock picking up.
What was he gonna do with that?
Yeah. That car was moving
like,
backwards.
Yeah. He's like, Bigfoot and Wild Boy moved another boat boulder. I gotta go
Yeah.
take care of this.
Forget it, it's on fire. Dump it.
Dump the
This
car.
looks like your typical 70s car.
Dump the car and run into the wilderness.
Take the gun, leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Now see, they reversed this footage here.
Oh,
I hate it when they do that. I hate it when there's... Yeah.
He's not impressed.
Uh-oh.
Holy moly. They don't see that runaway car. I've got to lift up that van.
Wow, that was a long shot.
Yeah.
Randy, watch out!
He says I have to lift up the van. No, he just needs to shove the car out of the way.
Captain Marvel.
He's got his own van art. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was pointing that out before. Okay, so he's levitating. He's not just flying, he's levitating.
Yeah. You know, I don't think Shazam's ever heard of the path of least
Forces
resistance.
of gravity
but
come from afar.
whatever.
Double your strength and stop this car.
She summoned...
Double income.
Icy winds now do conspire to freeze this car and quench the fire.
She actually called up the power of gravity. So she controls time, space, gravity. Wow.
Wow. And the heartbeats of everyone watching the show.
Yeah.
Her hair is completely different. Like completely different.
And if
She's got the fullness of the hair.
Wouldn't have happened. And the guilty wouldn't have escaped.
Police need your cooperation.
Javier says, I used to valet park at a San Francisco hotel and I hated when people would pull up in those long 70s cars.
Yeah.
Damn.
On the brighter side, though, no one was hurt. And Rick is obviously...
They needed a bigger boat.
But now we have a bigger problem.
We do?
Bigger than the runaway car?
Yeah. Wasn't there a
My
weather
tie?
control
Those
machine?
men got away with the trigger mechanism.
Yeah.
Just how
Everyone stand on your marks.
Steve is pointing out that
If the setting isn't
if
changed-
ISIS gets laryngitis,
Well, it
he's
could change the
powerless.
weather all over the state. Change the weather how, Rick? It's a question I can't answer, Captain Marvel.
Can't or won't, punk.
Yeah.
That's not a stormy sky.
Yeah.
It's golf. It's a golf day.
Man, I have to say again, this guy playing Captain Marvel, he just doesn't look like he's having a good day ever. Especially when he's standing next to ISIS. Oh, wait, the kids group has a name. They were called the Super Sleuths.
Really?
Yeah, did you see that?
Oh.
The super
Yeah, I
sleuths.
did. I thought I didn't really register it because it didn't stay on there long enough. Yeah, yeah.
You know, they were probably thinking of ending the ISIS show and starting the Super Sleuths show. The way these guys work.
Yeah. Or those like, do they really want to make that decision?
Here we are, with the final episode of ISIS for the day. I've had a good time.
So fast. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Definitely expands my understanding of what Filmation was trying to do.
Steve is right. The guy doesn't have a superhero voice either. I suspect that when the first guy left after the first season, they just had to grab somebody real quick. Just find the first stocky guy that comes along.
And so, unknown to even her closest friends, Rick Mason and Cindy Lee.
I remember when I first got the... Did you hear that? They used the wrong intro. He said her friend Cindy Lee. That was the girl from the first episode. From the first season. They forgot to use his replacement voiceover. That was not Cindy Lee.
Check your work, folks.
Yeah. Oh, Carol, you've never seen these before.
Oh.
Yeah, these are a real history lesson.
So it's counting up. Amazing. Is this connected to the previous one?
Yeah, it's a continuation.
Okay.
Remember, they ended with him needing to find... It's called... That last episode was called Now You See It, and this one is called Now You Don't.
That is not good enough.
See? That's clever.
All the weather.
Yeah.
I want the plans for the other half of this machine.
Hey, I don't understand, Professor. With your knowledge...
Since you
Oh, it's the evil professor.
these machines, Professor, we only thought that you... They bought Rick Mason's design, not mine.
Well, this guy sure is acting evil.
And they're going to pay for it. And so
Oh.
we. Now, I want
see.
these plans. I don't care how you get them.
He even has blonde eyebrows.
I want that ship. Yeah. Oh, Krylon, a bedsheet, done.
We always knew you were innocent, but in case you end up in jail again.
Oh my god.
Okay, that was an amazing trick.
Feather bake this from his own very special.
If you can make cake, that's... What? It's not cake. It's not cake.
Oh,
I'm so disappointed.
Yeah. I was watching
Where were you when I needed you?
a W.C. Fields reference.
That's not a storm.
Another one of those weird storms.
I was watching Loser Fruit on Twitch playing Fortnite the other day. She was playing with her friend Creator, and they were talking about shows that they could produce. And he was for himself. He was they were having a bull session about shows that he could produce for his own channel, and he was wanting to do a talk show with other streamers. They're in Australia, and he said, "Oh, we need to do one where people come on to the set and everything is cake. The desk is cake, the chair is cake. They have to sit on the chair, and then at the end of the show, I asked them a question and they turned to me to ask the question, and I'm cake." And I'm like, wow, this is a great idea. I really like the way they were thinking.
Because we've got the plans to Operation Weathermaker.
But we don't have the plans.
So, just out of curiosity, I went and looked up the guy who was the evil mastermind, the guy that had the mask on.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
He wrote Turner and Hooch.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. I've seen clips of it.
He also wrote Rent-A-Cop. That Burt Reynolds and Liza Minnelli movie.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. His name was Michael Blodgett.
Okay.
Well, we found out where the plans are.
This guy?
Listening.
And he's not the guy from Laser Blast.
It's on the left there, yeah. The guy that's on the left there.
And he's not the guy from Laser Blast.
No, he's not.
He looks so much like him.
I know he does.
You know when you arrange it, but be careful.
Feather, where were you? I got a meeting with those guys.
And he wrote Turner and Hooch. That's hilarious.
In a deserted
That was
Rennie.
Tom Hanks movie, right?
I'll give you a call on the CB.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hanks with a puppet dog.
Let's go.
No, it's a real dog.
Oh, it was a real dog.
But Yeah, it was. I don't know what kind of dog it was. It was kind of a bulldog type.
Whoa.
You know, slobbery type.
Yeah.
Whoa, hang on to that.
Yeah, there's lightning going on. You're right. There's no storm.
Yeah.
This kid wearing overalls.
To make you look younger.
Burglar alarm. Look out. Troops are in position.
He's got a zipper down the front. That's not. Those aren't work overalls. That's fashion.
No, not really.
That's fashion.
Yeah. Yeah. Poser.
Steve says Danny Bonaducci wanna be in the vest.
Yeah.
I guess. He still looks like Joe Walsh to me.
Yeah.
That's what I always thought first.
So I immediately see the guy, because he looks like Joe Walsh, and say villain. He's a villain in training.
In the last episode, Isis and Captain Marvel told these kids not to meddle in things that to let the authorities handle things. And here they are sneaking into buildings again.
They watched an episode of Scooby-Doo. It's all over.
Hello, Lookout. This is burglar alarm. What's happening out there? Over.
Burglar alarm, this is Lookout. Yeah, we're in front of the warehouse and the troops are moving into position.
Rick, those kids are up to something.
Rick, those kids.
Those kids.
Those
are
kids.
older than she is. They're all older than her.
Yeah. If she was 24 when she was making this, then yeah, you're right. They were at least her age.
Yep.
Oh! Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Yikes.
That was sudden.
Yeah. Oh. Yikes. That's like, who would stack all those metal rods next to all those fuse boxes? It's,
yeah.
CJ, what is your location?
He went flying off the wall there.
Yeah.
On the corner of Seaward and Marina. Rennie, stay right where you are. We're on our way.
Oh.
Whoa. Yeah. Understand door lock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just turn your head at it.
I'm still thinking about. Oh. Oh, it's
Whoa.
because he's the Asian American kid. He can karate through a door. There were episodes of Space Academy we didn't get to where that Asian American kid would karate through doors like that. Yeah, just. And these were spaceship bulkhead doors.
Yeah.
Mr. Mason! Stay right there.
Yeah, only a teacher could take care of this.
Yep. What does he teach again?
I don't remember. Yeah, she gave us that look again.
Yeah.
But I'm still laughing about her saying, "Rick, those kids."
Yeah. Sound like kind of sound like Mrs. Brady talking to Mike, saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, those kids."
Yeah. Oh, they're actually rotating the camera.
No.
Wait, did she
What?
phase through the ceiling?
Yeah. She didn't spin. She didn't pirouette.
No.
Oh. Budget cuts.
Electric forces spinning round. Return safely to the ground.
She's got good flow. I'll kind of give her that.
Yeah.
She can definitely rhyme.
Please let me through.
Boobity doo, doobity doo. Now, where'd that iron fence go?
Yep.
Oh.
And now, I think you'd all better have a talk with the police.
For some reason, they cut out.
We know you're in
They cut out him getting to say groovy or whatever it was he was saying.
Far out.
Yeah.
Won't happen again, Miss Thomas. You know, Miss Thomas, I think there is a way that these kids can be of some help.
Yeah, that guy. That
Now,
guy on
weather
the right there.
situation is worsening by the minute. Now, perhaps we could wind this
Okay.
That's
clean up.
Jerry Douglas.
Get Feather
Inspector
here.
Bryce.
Another meeting with the suspect.
Okay.
I think I could do that. No, Inspector, I don't want you to endanger these students any further.
Well, I wasn't thinking of them.
Is that it for ISIS?
Thinking of him.
It can't be
Guess
because
so.
we still need Captain Marvel to show up. Rick makes a face.
It's the I really need to fart, but not in front of the cool kids and the hot chick.
So the the villain does his work from Griffith Observatory.
Of course.
Maybe something better. What could that be? Rick Mason. Word on the street is that he
You
wants
just
to deal
put a
with us.
sweater over his shoulder, eat an apple, would be inconspicuous.
Yep.
What could he be up to?
There's that 1970s.
That's not how painting works.
The 1970s police drama music. Ding 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 ding
Yeah.
ding ding. What is he planning now? Oh, he's gonna karate
Yeah,
chop it.
chop it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, will one of you kindly step up? A volunteer? How about you, young lady?
I'd be delighted.
I don't recognize her from anything
Now,
else.
if you kindly step up and
Well,
lay down
let's
on the
see.
board.
What has she done?
Is it safe?
Perfectly, Rennie. Trust me.
Wasn't that in Marathon Man? Is it safe?
I don't remember that.
Now, Mr. Mason, would
I've
you
only
please
seen that movie
remove
once.
Oh,
the
well,
brace-
she's been in lots of stuff.
Really?
Remove?
Yeah, she was on episodes of. She was an episode of Jeffersons, What's Happening, Good
Okay.
Times.
Okay, a black actress in the mid 70s. Yeah, of course.
Yep, she pretty much was, the
Yeah.
producer of that. Oh, stiff as a board, light as a feather. And surgery begins.
Hey, drop everything!
I don't like your choice of words.
Steve was pointing out that
Mr.
the
Mason?
guy with the blonde hair
gotta
looks
meet
like a
with those guys in half
ventriloquist
an hour.
dummy.
Great. I think.
Don't worry, Mr. Mason. As soon as we contact Inspector Bryce, you'll be in good company.
Yeah, with 100 policemen.
I hope that's enough.
100?
100, yeah.
I don't think you want 100 cops.
How about 0?
Yeah. On a monorail?
Nice.
Is that LAX or are they near Disneyland? What's going on?
Oh no. Mannix. Oh wait.
All right, Sonny, move it and make it quick.
What is this?
I said move it.
So these are supposed to be high school kids?
No. Maybe college? I mean, does she teach in college or is it high school?
I always thought it was high school.
Yeah.
Okay, she's taking time to feed the ducks when there's a weather machine on the loose.
Get away.
Yeah, get away.
We don't need that. There's nothing she does that's not elegant looking.
Yeah.
That's kind of almost impossible.
Yeah.
What? Mr. Mason had a meeting with those men, and we were on our way to tell the police.
We better notify Inspector Bryce. Let's go.
Giant glasses.
Yeah.
Where are you taking us?
See an old friend of yours, Mason.
At least he gets the right shotgun,
Pull one of
8-track
your
music.
Yeah, pull one of your magic tricks, kid.
Yeah.
What's going on up there? I'm sorry. My brakes are locking once in a while. It won't happen again. See to it doesn't happen again.
That was Rangy's voice.
Isn't there like a regulation against using your CB radio for like, I don't know,
Boy, Rangy,
narrating?
that's what we needed to know. I'll make that call.
I don't know.
You can't do that. That's exposition. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Look at that
cool.
bizarre phone booth.
Yeah.
Their voices are
That's
fading.
one half of what Captain Marvel made in the previous.
Can't lose them now.
PCP says she watched a movie called Golden Needles with Joe Don Baker, and that she hasn't
Ugh.
laughed so hard
Simon Park?
On purpose?
on purpose.
He just left the mighty Isis
Yeah.
just standing there.
Thank you, Inspector.
Oh, and I noticed that they do color her ribbons based upon what she's wearing.
Do they?
Yeah, she got like little blue ribbons. Oh,
Yeah.
she did it again.
Yeah.
I think she was looking at you, Keith.
This is going to take some teamwork.
They don't show more of a change anymore. She just appears.
No.
Into the sky.
And yeah, you're right. In season 1, her hair was like super long and straight.
Yeah.
Follow my voice.
Okay, so
Give her a weave.
okay, Captain Marvel was out walking with a stick.
What does he do? Can Billy Batson not do this stuff?
Yeah. ISIS must need help.
It was like, oh, the stick is too heavy.
He just takes off.
Yep.
Hey, if ISIS called me from out of the sky, I'd take off too. So she evidently convinced the director to let her work without the Raven this time.
Yeah.
With your knowledge, we can build it together, gentlemen.
What are they going to go to the 4077th? What's going on?
Oh wow! They're
Oh,
right next to each
merging
other.
traffic.
Whoa, yeah. That was actually
typical man.
that was really interesting. That really worked. It took me by surprise.
Did he have to get that close? I mean, really? He's just man-splay flying.
Yeah, PCP lifting random rocks, carrying sticks. He's just out walking. And Billy Batson, they didn't want to pay the kid who played Billy Batson. Okay. He's doing all this.
Actor's last name is Kim, so that would make him what?
Which actor?
The actor playing the Asian.
Yeah.
His last name is Kim, so that would make him what? Korean?
Korean. Yeah, that sounds Korean.
Yeah, so he would know what is it judo that's Korean?
I don't know.
I'm so bad.
Kung
I
Fu
seem
is
so like culturally.
Yeah. Kung Fu is Chinese.
Kung Fu is
right?
Chinese. Yep. Karate is Japanese, which makes me think, why did they call it the Karate Kid when obviously Jackie Chan and the kid is in China?
I've never seen the Karate Kid movies. So
this is like the remake with.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was called the Karate Kid, but it took place in China.
Okay.
With Jackie Chan.
Okay.
And Kung Fu.
Okay.
They're two totally different disciplines.
Okay.
That's us American film goers. We don't care.
Here's a really bad effect. Oh, that was bad.
Just the dummy wasn't around.
Yeah.
He looks like he's having fun. I mean, what?
Yeah. When they did the green screen thing, he was too big. They actually made him too. Oh.
What? Okay, so he's super powered.
I guess.
Not bad, Ranji. But I think it's time to end this little game.
Dude, she's 1,000 feet up in the air.
Yeah. What? Endora. What?
Wait a minute.
Oh, there's one for all of them now. There's one for all of them. Yeah, I don't know either.
Javier says Taekwondo is Korean.
Taekwondo. Thank you. Why did they all duck? It's like 10 feet up. Get out of here, you idiot.
You should be proud of yourselves.
Is this it? We're done?
And also law-abiding.
Yes, sir. You make quite a team.
So she's not shaming them in this episode. Okay. Non-verbal communication says everything there.
Before we go, I'm gonna find. I remember when I was looking over these episodes years ago. The first few episodes where Isis first appeared, it was almost like fetish film with the way the camera would dwell on her. Let me see if I can find some examples of what I'm talking about. Wearing her Mary Tyler Moore costume.
My hat, yeah.
Oh God.
Kids turn the channel already.
Yeah.
It's like this, like music on TV is never gonna work. Click.
I mean, 12 ISISes suddenly appeared.
ISISes?
12 ISISes? Come on, Rick. You don't expect me to believe that.
Rick is not very observant because,
No.
without those glasses, you look
Yeah.
exactly like.
Yeah. Every time somebody says that, I think of those stories I've always heard about Christopher Reeves. Before, while they were making the Superman movies, he would actually experiment. He would go out on the street wearing the Superman costume, and people would flock to him and want autographs and everything. But he would go out. He would also go to restaurants with the Clark Kent outfit, with the suit and the glasses, and nobody knew who the hell he was.
Wow.
See the Super Sleuths.
The Super Sleuths. Yeah, glad they didn't take off.
Yeah. But I don't have any problem believing those stories. Christopher Reeves,
no,
he behaved so differently when he did such a good job of being a different person.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for our Shazam ISIS Marathon. Thank you, thank you everybody for joining us. Before we go, because I've got all the ISIS episodes here, I'm going to see if I can find an example of what I was talking about.
Oh, like one of the earlier kind of layering.
Oh no, I don't have them on the. I don't have them on the desktop. Those are on my external drive. But yeah, I remember noticing that when she first appeared, there would be this long pan upwards from her boots all the way up, and I would be like, "Oh, this is fetish video. This is."
Maybe it was just the costume designer was like, "Hey, could you maybe get me another job? I want them to see my work.
Yeah, yeah.
Never mind the girl underneath it. Just show them the work. Show them my my sewing skills."
Yeah. Javier says that show was decent, product of its time. As you say, the networks were limited. Yeah, the networks limited them severely because but it wasn't just the Saturday morning superhero shows. It was also the Incredible Hulk and Wonder Woman and the $6 Million Man. With the $6 Million Man and with the Bionic Woman, they kind of did it right with those two shows, but with all the other superhero shows, they never had supervillains. They never had superpower supervillains, and there was never a real super fight.
With in that Spider-Man, that original Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man was always always busting up burglary rings like they were in ISIS here.
Yeah,
and even the Hulk never fought other superpowered villains. He never fought. It was always just it was always just Bill Bixby traveling, hitchhiking and then helping people. And then I do remember there was one episode of the Incredible Hulk that was based on The Most Dangerous Game, where the classic fiction story from the early 20th century, where a guy gets shipwrecked on an island, and the island turns out to be owned by a millionaire who hunts people. And it's, from what I've read, that story, I forget who wrote it, but it's the most adapted American short story in history. There was even an episode of Gilligan's Island that was supposedly based on The Most Dangerous Game. But I don't remember that. But I do remember the episode of the Hulk, except the variation in this one, of course, is at the end, he turns into the Hulk and kicks the guy's ass. But with the $6 Million Man and the Bionic Woman, they were always fighting robots and superpowered machines. They were doing it right. Bionic Woman had the fembots. Yeah. So they had supervillains, but the other superheroes never did. And that's the one thing that I liked about the second Superman movie, the Superman 2, is that there were legit supervillains. There were legit supervillains, and there was a real super fight going on. And I'd never seen anyone do that before. I do remember there was one episode of Wonder Woman, and I wish I knew the details about it, where there was a villain woman in a costume. She had a full body spandex costume, and she could control insects or something. And I remember her doing like this, and there were streams of ants flying at Wonder Woman. And I remember thinking, that's a legit supervillain, but I don't remember any details. I'm sure they blew it. I'm sure they didn't do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throwing ants.
Yeah. Durham Steve, there was the bionic Bigfoot in the $6 Million Man. And that's the only reason Bigfoot and Wild Boy was made. I've explained that before.
Really?
It was because of the Bigfoot in $6 Million Man. Think about it.
That's true.
Because
Bigfoot was really big in this.
Yeah.
Bigfoot was big in the 70s.
Yeah, but you know how
In Search of and
yeah, in Bigfoot and Wild Boy, whenever Bigfoot runs and jumps, there's always those bionic noises, and that's why. That's why. Because I remember when the $6 Million Man Bigfoot episodes came up, and then they had that episode where he was fighting Bigfoot, and then he pulled Bigfoot's arm, and Bigfoot's arm came off, and there were sparks and wires, and all of us 9-year-old kids were looking at the screen with our eyes bugging out, going, "Bigfoot's a robot!" And then
knew it all along.
Yeah, and then the next year, Bigfoot and Wild Boy came along. So yeah, did Andre the Giant play Bigfoot?
Andre the Giant did play. I was going to say that Andre the Giant played Bigfoot in the $6 Million Man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course, Bigfoot was also he was a robot that was being operated by aliens.
Of course.
Yeah.
They just kept stacking on the craziness.
Yeah, stacking on the crazy. Yeah.
Aliens.
Yeah.
And the aliens are governed by interdimensional beings. And then,
yeah.
And after that, it's Clu Gulager who probably runs everything.
Yeah, Clu Gulager. You remember the Man from Atlantis, right? I remember it was I think just one season. Was it one season? Look it up. See if it was just one season. But it starred Patrick Duffy before his days with Dallas. And I think it was just one season. And I remember being disappointed because it wasn't weird enough for me. He was discovered unconscious floating in the ocean, and then it was just a drama about him and the scientists. That there wasn't super stuff going on. And but here's something I learned just in the last couple of weeks that I never knew. Patrick Duffy has written several Man from Atlantis novels. Apparently he never stopped being really into Man from Atlantis. And people whoever was writing this, I saw this, they said that go back and look at interviews that Patrick Duffy does, read interviews, he always brings up Man from Atlantis. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool.
That's kind of like Richard Hatch after he was on Battlestar Galactica and it got canceled. He kept writing treatments, and they did a kind of epilogue to the like they wanted to keep going with the original series, and I think they even some of the cast members of the original Space 1999 wanted to keep going on, and they did like a fan made film of that. So it doesn't surprise me that a lot of these sci-fi shows from the 70s and 80s, they just lost funding for it, but the actors and people wanted to keep going. They still really enjoyed it.
I think Patrick Duffy is unique though in that he went on to have a much bigger career, and most of these other people, they didn't do anything else. They acted in other shows, but that was their most notable thing. With Patrick Duffy though, he was much bigger than Man from Atlantis, and for him to keep coming back to it, I think is really that's really unusual.
That kind of tells you that maybe his success didn't really make him happy and like what he wanted to do.
Obviously he dug it. He dug Man from Atlantis.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to end. It's 12:30. Thanks for joining me, Mike.
My pleasure.
Thank you everybody for watching. I'm glad to see. I almost, you know what I almost said? I almost legit said it was glad to see all the super sleuths here. I almost said that without thinking, without even.
You're gonna brand them that?
I guess so.
Oh no.
No. Okay, tonight at 7 Pacific, there will be Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, which I've never seen. And anybody who knows anything,
a lot of fun.
Anybody who knows anything about it, please send me information about it. And then tomorrow we'll have the secret movie, at 5 p.m. Pacific. So thank you again for coming, everybody. Bye. See you later. Where's the stop button? Oh, there it is.